Okay, we are back. We are talking about when to ask for help and where to find it. This is a may seem like a no-brainer, but you never know. There may be something you hadn't thought about. So anyway, when do you ask for help? So you've gone through everything I've done, you've done all your research, and you still have questions. So when do you ask for help? Anytime you think you need it. Do not ever assume. I never assume that you know what I know. Never assume that it's wrong to ask a question. No question is a bad question. Asking the same question isn't wrong. It just means that you need to have it explained in a different way. That's okay. That's what we do with our children. None of the homeschool community expects a new homeschooler to know everything. We don't. We didn't know. So, no question is a bad question. Asking the question again isn't wrong. Always ask. Um, please ask the questions because we don't know. Even as leaders, if I'm working with you, I don't know if you don't understand if you don't tell me. So, let's go over those again. When to ask for help, anytime you think you need it. No question is a bad question. Asking the same question again isn't wrong. Please ask the questions. That's what every homeschool leader would like you to know. We don't expect you to know how to homeschool. We don't expect you to know where to find the things, and we want to help. So, where do you go to ask for help? Where do you find it? Okay, so first, free, walking in free Facebook groups. There are lots and lots and lots of Facebook groups on all subjects of homeschooling out there. Some that I like is Blue Collar Homeschool, one of my top favorite. The extra workshop that I posted yesterday had Cindy LaJoy. She is the brain person behind that group. Excellent group. It's Not Hard to Homeschool is a very huge, awesome group. Minimalist Homeschooling is a great group for asking questions. There are great local groups. Florida has their Florida homeschoolers. You can find, state specific. That is a good first step in finding help. Now, when you go into Facebook groups to ask questions, please be aware some of these people may not know. So look for your leaders in that group. If someone gives you advice, maybe make sure it coordinates with two or three other people. Not that they're giving bad advice, but it's just sometimes new, excited homeschoolers will start trying to share what they've learned, and they might not make it easy to understand. So I always make sure things go together. That's what I do. I say, like, rule of three. When I have a problem and I want to ask, I want to see at least three people have said the same thing. Doesn't mean what people are telling me is bad. It just means I want to make sure that I'm getting good, solid information. Free to low cost, local leadership. Depending on your state, you may need to register with a program. Some states are that way, some aren't. That's going to be your baseline. Awesome. In my area, I admin a group, and I have worked with moms for over 10 years. So finding base local leadership is your base level. And let me tell you, even if they're doing something for free, and if they're a leader and they're doing something for free for you, make sure they know you appreciate them. Just from my end of the thing, when someone tells me thank you, I want to give more. Let them know that you appreciate them, and they will just about bend over backwards and die for you. We love homeschooling. I know that's how I feel. I love homeschooling. I love homeschool mamas. I love all mamas, and I want you successful. So if you have a leader who will meet with you and mentor you for free, take her gifts, or at least just say thank you. Just let her know that you appreciate her work. Not me, them. Um, when you need more, look for consultants. There are homeschool consultants. I consult now. I have for quite a long time. There are people all across the board, some that I like. Like yesterday, I mentioned, I'm going to share the screen. There are two places that I would go if you were going to pay someone for a consultant. I would go to, let me share this window. I always make the weirdest faces when I'm looking. Okay, so Homeschool Legal Defense, they can give legal advice, but beyond that, they have all these um, extra places. Let me see, like here's special needs that you can get, and they have people to help. They have testing and advising. They have just, I mean, they have a high school, middle school, all of it. They have a lot of stuff. No, this is True North. Sorry, wrong website. This is True North. This is the one I gave yesterday for special needs. Let me stop this one and go to Homeschool Legal Defense. This is what happens when I have not had enough coffee in the day. I'm telling you, let's see. Now, I'm just crazy. Let's see. There it is. I picked the wrong one is what I did. Homeschool Legal Defense. They've got legal. They have community stuff. They have teaching your kids high school and let's see, high school and beyond, testing and evaluation, what to teach, grading, special needs, record keeping. They have lots of support, and they have because they're a national office, they have this is a good place to go if you need more than what you're getting locally. And there'll be, I mean, every state will have some kind of consultant. Let's see. Where else did I have? Facebook groups are great. So anyway, those are some places you can go. I consult. I have Mama Time, which is like group coaching, $10 a month. I mean, there's other people. I'm not the only one out there. I mean, you can go out there and find other places. So if you're still having problems and you've asked everything local and you've asked your leadership and everybody seems to be stumped, I mean, if you have special needs issues, then you can find through your pediatrician, you can find evaluations to get. But when you're stumped, find the consultants. It's worth the time. It's worth the money. I mean, it's an investment. You would do the same if your children were in public school. If you're not getting the help you need in the public school, then you're going to go find someone else. That's just how it is. But you can usually get free across the board. I have my free group, Professional Home Educator. There are weekly workshops in there. And I try to get a good broad wrap up of that. So that's where to find the things. So another thing, let me get rid of this. Another thing, there's a couple of questions that I had that I wanted to add in here, even though they don't well, probably I need to do them at 2. But I'm trying to cover anything that did not get covered in a session. What was I say? I lost my train of thought. Do you people not know that it's Friday and all I really want to do is eat tacos? I'm like, how can you go wrong with tacos? I'm like, that's really all I really want is to send some of my kids to go get tacos. But I can't do that, can I? I have to stay on the menu. I have to stay scheduled and focused. But anyway, so one of the questions that I had multiple times that I did not have anywhere easily to put it was how to manage multiple kids. So I'm tagging this on the end of there, and I'm going to tag them in this post. When I have multiple kids, I have 4 together. I have 5 in all, but I have 4 that were all together. Always plan for everybody, even the baby, even the little baby, because they are part of the schedule. I always had school toys for the littles. High chair was my friend. What else? I mean, everything. And then you have to plan in your breaks because babies, do the best you can to do your bulk stuff when the baby was asleep. That's another thing I did. What else did we do? I saved on curriculum I would cut the binding off the book and then stick the paper into page transparencies and then reuse them for multiple children. Most homeschool curriculum allows you to do that. It says when you buy it, it'll say on the front page that you are able to use it for the household. So what we did is cut the binder off, hole punched it, put it in a binder, and then I would just pull it out and use it for that kid. And then I were able to use it for each one coming up. I did that mostly with math, and math was really the big one because math is always seems to be the biggest expense that I have every year, especially when you have 4 or 5 to buy math for. Well, for me, it's only been 4. I've never had to buy for 5 because my baby is so much younger than the other ones. But we always had a toy school. There's school toys that they only played with during school. We had creative learning boxes, a block box. What else? Sewing box, arts and crafts box, dress up box. What else? We had another one. Lego box. I still have the Lego box. Legos. Do not ever get rid of your Legos. My husband has an eBay store. They have high resale value. If I could go back and tell myself to not throw out the Legos when I stepped on them in the middle of the night, I would be rich. One year we found a box of 12 pounds for $5 and we made almost $200 resale. So Legos, think of them differently. Don't sell them. But learning can be found anywhere. Minecraft, there's so many learning apps now, so many things you can do to learn. You can do this. But anyway, I will see you. That's where to find your help and when to ask for help. If you have questions, I can answer them in the comments. I've got time. I'm not like in a rush or anything. I know I sound like I'm in a rush, but I really am not. I just sometimes get nervous. But we will wrap up at 2. Any questions that y'all have got, y'all need to come at 2. That's a good time to ask anything extra that you're needing. You have time to watch all the videos until next Wednesday. On Wednesday, I will start pulling everything off and closing the group down. It is a pop-up group. I have another homeschool boot camp that will be later this month for returning homeschool moms. But I mean, if you're homeschooling, you decide to homeschool, you could probably benefit from it too. You can jump in that group too. It'll be a different focus. It won't be set up like this one. It'll be a little bit more fluid, a little bit more on based on what your questions are in the membership tally. This one is very regimented because we based it on a Homeschool 101 and how they run, the information you would get if you went to a one-day event in your local area. That's what this one was based on. The one at the end of the month is going to be more fluid. We're going to talk more about scheduling. We're going to talk more about high school, a little bit more what returning homeschool moms would be asking. And you can benefit from those too. You're welcome to join that group. What else? I have 2 giveaways going on in the group. One is Susan Hale's record keeping solution. It will run through Tuesday. And then another one is if you watch all the videos, take a screenshot and show me, you can enter in to win a year of Mama Time. Well, actually, I think I decided to give just lifetime Mama Time. You just have it from now on. So that's a good one. It makes it well worth your time to watch all the videos because Mama Time is $10 a month. So anyway, y'all go there, catch all the videos, get caught up. I'm going to see you at 2. We'll wrap up everything, do some question and answers, anything you need to add on, and then you'll have time to watch up and catch up. But have a good day.